is, can Haichao keep up with Rookie? We've been seeing some moments from XQW on the other side of things, but these two mid laners I think were the biggest question marks in this group. We'll see what they give Haichao this time around to kind of keep up with Rookie. It is the Rumble first pick after the bans came through from LNG, who are on the blue side for this game since they played red side last time these two teams met.
I mean, Quinn? TheShy plays anything and everything under the sun, and usually would be like something like a Jace. Oh my god! Everyone's picking the same things.
I love it because they're busted. Because they're literally busted. It's actually insane. Like, it was so funny. Like, obviously, if you watch LPL every day, it's a hard task. But the ease of Naafiri into the meta, there were hovers at first. Trouble. It was hovered by every jungler, but nobody would pick it.
Until Kanavi showed us what it's made of.
And then it got picked, and then it didn't do good. And then it just started getting picked every single game that it's open and not banned around because this champion can literally run the game. Now, the response, though, LNG, they seem calm, cool, and collected. They feel like they know what they want to go for. The Rumble paired now with the Sejuani and the Corki to provide sustained damage.
I already hate this so much. That's a warding Sejuani. This Sejuani has no purpose. Usually, you pair up Sejuani with a melee top laner or a melee mid laner to actually play the 2 versus 2 somewhere on the map so she can have impact. She's an incredible early game ganker. She serves no purpose other than to try and potentially maybe defend her jungle from potential invades. So I like the Rise locked in here for Rookie as well. Rookie is the type of jungle, the type of mid laner that really likes to roam together with Jiejie, and I feel like they've got a really strong mid jungle duo going on right here.
Oh yeah, they absolutely do. And that kind of in-between nature of these two roaming around the map is going to be so deadly because Jiejie is going to want to have some proactiveness on this Naafiri. But we'll see in the second phase of bans right now, ADC focus. So potentially thinking that we're going to see a big focus of that in the second phase of picks as well. The Ashe and the Varus banned away respectively from both sides.
And I want to see where the Ezreal is going to sort of end up because I feel like for LNG, you've got a really good composition to actually pin an Ezreal into. You're not necessarily going to get much lane prior. Because if you do look in something like an Ezreal on blue side, then Gala is most likely going to reply with the Kai'Sa on his own. Unless he gets to pick the Ezreal here himself. I feel like with Ryze, Gwen, and Naafiri, everyone sort of wants to go in. So picking an AD carry with a lot of self-agency can actually put him out of a lot of the trouble. Or he just ignores everything and just goes for his Kai'Sa. Nah, there's no way.
We'll see. We'll see what they end up going. Try to take away maybe some of the poke potential that LNG would be representing with this composition, but they do end up going with the Ezreal. We'll see what they want to follow it up with. I expect Meiko to get some sort of tank because that's really all that IG are lacking here, their composition.
I think that was a dare. I think Gala was like, that's my Kai'Sa. You're allowed to play it. Show me what you've got. I wouldn't be surprised here, even if IG went with Yuumi for that bot lane. You actually can perma-shove bot lane. Again, you have so much agency that Yuumi on Naafiri, Yuumi on Gwen would be incredible. You would like a lot of that engage, but on the other side, like LNG have all the engage. So if you play for the peel, it would be amazing. Also, Brom works here again, playing more for the peel side of things.
What's funny is Meiko was the one that was talking about enchanters coming into the meta because of the no lane swap shenanigans anymore. We'll just end up going with the Braum. So no enchanters yet. Maybe it's like Naafiri. We'll just ease ourselves into it.
Bro has a world skin on Yuumi, so that's the best time to bring it out.
And now we have our comps set for the final game of the day. I thought we might get some crazy shenanigans from IG. No, it is strictly business. They are in suits. They're tied up. The ties are tied, and they want to go undefeated in Group D. They are looking to do something that hasn't been done just yet in the placement stage, but they have looked like the most dominant team across the board, it feels like, for a lot of these teams. We've seen, obviously, still a couple more days there left to go, but this last game for LNG, I just want to see something. I just want to see teamwork. I want to see plays. I don't even care. Throw the spaghetti at the wall, Trouble, and find a way to make the funniest thing happen in the LPL and IG lose a game to unwinning LNG. We're into the final game, game number 6 of the day. And I couldn't be more excited to do this and see what IG give us.
You know what? I'm not going to be a negative Nancy right here. Okay, I will be at the very beginning. I do not like what LNG have got going on. WeiWei is going to have
now the truth comes out.
Such a hard time playing that Sejuani. His priority lanes don't look very strong, and he's awarding Sejuani right here. He goes in, he insta-dies, and you look on the other side. All that damage coming through. The Gwen, the Naafiri, the Ryze, the Ezreal. You try to dive them, there's suddenly a Braum there to stop you. So yeah, take us in.
We'll hear the Gyos one more time for Group D. We go in. Oh no. No, the LNG chance just died. It's fine. I'm pretty sure they didn't even say Gyao.
Just like their hopes
They
and
must
dreams.
have said. I wonder if that was like the TSM chant. Anyways, LNG
more
definitely.
likely.
Probably.
LNG chance.
LNG, the not favored here, as Rookie will just walk into 2 members of LNG. Gonna lose about half his health. We'll just get the reset. A greedy reset. I thought Haichao might stick around to try to push him out of that reset, but not gonna be the case this time around. Gonna be a cool early game. Nobody doing anything too crazy.
Oh, apparently the crowd's at top. Maybe they meant LNG to the top, potentially.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, this is so miserable, man. Like, WeiWei's not gonna have fun in his own jungle. It's so sad. All right, let's see the positives right here. Kai'Sa into Ezreal. A very good matchup, specifically after level 6. Why is it so strong? Because Kai'Sa gets to play Ezreal within the wave. Her Q is really strong. You get to stack up your 4 autos as well onto Ezreal. And Ezreal does not like waves because he's primarily a poke jump and the Q doesn't go through the waves. However, this is a lane that is won purely by Braum. He does really, really well into melee supports. So IG, I feel like, are pretty even on the bot lane. Funner thing here for LNG.
Okay.
Zika with Ignite top. He's playing to purely kill. And as you can see, WeiWei is also pathing towards his rumble.
See the mirrored side starts for both junglers. I want to see WeiWei get active. I also want to see Jiejie get active early on. Zhuo will surpass 300, or at least get to 300 games played in the LPL. So love to see that. A guy that's been building up his track record over time.
Ooh, interesting for Jiejie. He's gonna dive behind that pit. He's cleared up his top side of the map, and he will be hunting for WeiWei. And see, this is where the matchup gets very miserable, man, because Jiejie can just do that, and WeiWei is just walking into him. Oh no!
I think he senses, maybe knows. Does he know? Trouble, does he know? I need to know. Does he know?
He doesn't know. He doesn't
know. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. It's happening. My worst nightmare. And WeiWei's. There's a bunch of dogs in his jungle. And he just gets his blue buff. He takes it. Oh, this might be repayment though. WeiWei going down. One darkened dagger. And the snipe from Jiejie for first blood for IG. Was the blue worth it?
I just felt WeiWei say, nah, screw this. I'm playing in the worst matchup possible. I've got 2 pushing lanes and no one is dropping their wave to come help me. I feel so bad for WeiWei, and for Jiejie right here, this is best scenario possible. He gets to steal a camp. He gets to set down vision over on the top side of the map, which is the danger side for IG, since there's the ignite onto Zika. And oh boy, this is only going to get harder for Sejuani. You're going to fall behind in levels. You're going to fall behind in damage. And WeiWei is just going to have to make some magic happen in the early game.
There's maybe some tricks left in the hat. Trouble. Maybe there's some. We'll see. Very one-sided Twitch prediction yet again. Still higher than the last game, but still very one-sided this time for IG. WeiWei has found another angle, and the nice little knock-up from Zhuo. Going to be able to be followed up on, though, in the end from WeiWei's angle, but a gank nonetheless from LNG.
Everyone back to their junglers right now. You see Jiejie also on his bot side quadrant. His top side has also spawned, and He's gonna have such a great time just going through his jungle, just perma-clearing. His laners are fine, like bot lane is pushed out. They've got their flashes available. You've got TheShy who's gonna TP back onto his top side from the wave. Ignite so far hasn't been used aggressively by Zika to take any aggressive trades over the top side of the map. And as always, Rookie on that rise can perma-push.
Okay, they got Meiko down. Sub 100 health now. Will flash away. One more auto.
No way.
The Unbreakable still not able to get him, and Meiko survives.
Oh, WeiWei couldn't actually get the angle right there. Doesn't have the flash available to himself. And you know what that means? Every single time Sejuani shows on the map, you lose your camps. Jiejie already in his top quadrant, taking his wolves away. And I think this is going to be how the rest of the game goes. WeiWei desperately trying to make plays. If IG evade them, that means he loses part of his jungle.
And I just have to say, it makes me so damn happy as a fan of the LPL to see Jiejie unlocked in this team, but on the Rift every single time we see this IG team hit the Rift. He has been the one that has been showing out consistently on this team. Now he's on the Defiri, getting to have a little bit of fun with it to wrap up Group D. Meiko Rookie move over, though LNG has collapsed. Double crash down here, and Haichao coming around the corner. Jiejie needs to get in the fight. Equalizer comes in from the distance, and maybe this IG fight is way too much to handle. The Realm Warp not going to be there because Rookie is gone, and now everybody on the other side of the fight going on to Jiejie and TheShy, though the needlework is doing massive work, and TheShy can now go snip all over the lives of LNG. Meiko buying so much time. He's going to fall in the end, and one more auto, not going to be enough for TheShy to get the kill.
Overall, I think that was a 1-for-1 or 2-for-1, sorry, in favor of LNG right there. And very importantly, Haichao picks up the 2 kills on that Corki. Corki loves getting to that Trinity Force early on, because then you can sort of transition him around the map, use him as your artillery weapon, and then use that Trinity Force for that poke. So 2 kills right here for Haichao, especially when you play into Rookie in that mid lane, are going to be huge. Gala, oh my god.
Okay, well, that's a little bit of taste of his own poke medicine. Not even going to be close to matching the pressure that can be provided there, as now we see Jiejie take all 3 grubs on the top side of the map. Going to lead into potentially taking all 6 of the grubs. We're going to take a look back at that replay and the chaotic fight that ended up happening in LNG's side of the jungle.
Yeah, I think we're very quick to transition towards the top side because Void Grubs have spawned, as you mentioned previously, and they're trying to look to punish WeiWei further. However, Rookie gets caught up in the crash down, doesn't use his flash in time. Luckily for IG, when TheShy does join, that one really hurts, and majority of spells, summoner spells and actual ultimates were down. So Shy trying to clear up right there, couldn't quite get it. Zhuo ends up getting away, so 3 members of the set of LNG just running away with blinking bars.
Still a pretty contested first 8 minutes into this one. There's only slight leads, and most of them are in favor of LNG. Who'd have thunk it? 2 kills on Haichao, and all that time on LGD, maybe making a little bit of something happen. Jiejie. He's coming over. WeiWei already in the bush here. Zika tanking the needlework. Jiejie thinks they're not here. Equalizer back into the CC TheShy, but is it enough? Oh my god, he gets him, but he's going to go down. Now Jiejie against WeiWei in a little bit of trouble now. Gets permafrosted, and WeiWei comes up with his own double kill. That Poro's got teeth too.
So remember what we said at the very beginning. This is going to be a warding Sejuani. That's what a warding Sejuani does. You don't necessarily play around a solo laner to get kills, to get ganks. You play defensively for their ganks. And right here, Jiejie, not only does he see sausage around and meat, that dog is hungry. He dives in, insta-R into Q from WeiWei onto that Gwen, and then he ends up flashing onto Jiejie for the last tick of the passive right there to take him down as well. That is 2 kills, and as you could see, a bunch of that wave crashed under tower as well, which means that Rubble's gonna have a pretty fun time walking up that top lane. He does have WeiWei around for the time being to fix the wave if need be. However, that was a very, very advantageous play for LNG.
Was indeed. Keep that lead going for themselves. Dragon is up on the table. A little bit of pressure from bot lane for IG, so maybe leaning towards that for Jiejie. Does have a decent amount of damage, but the Eclipse already completed, by the way. The guy is massively ahead of WeiWei, but again, we're seeing WeiWei focus where he can. Looking for an overextending TheShy. He stopped his back now a couple times. Ward gonna come through. TheShy gets caught. TheShy is going down potentially up here on the top side. This would be massive for LNG, and they're gonna cook him alive there as they take him down. The Dragon goes to IG on the other side of things, and Jiejie will take the jungle of WeiWei.
Doesn't even get to take the control ward, man. He was one auto off of getting that control ward. You know, a little bit more gold in the pocket of TheShy. Not quite going to be the case. Again, reminder, every time you show up on the map as a Juani, you lose part of your jungle. Very quick from Jiejie to react right there. Takes the Raptors, takes the Dragon as well for IG. Gets the Nafiri going a little bit further. And now you'll see the swap coming through. They will actually put Rookie on the side lane into Rumble. It's actually a pretty good matchup. You get to push out this way for free. But this time around, they're not going to send Juani. They're going to send the Bell.
Grubs are coming up in 30 seconds, so any fight here guarantees Grubs for the winner. As LNG are moving up here in full force. They're bringing Photic around as well. Killer Instinct in. They want to catch Meiko. He does have the wall, but is it going to be enough? Nice flash with the Void Seeker. Oh, he didn't predict the damage. The healing from the summoner spell, and that is going to be one that hurts LNG. They had the pick. They just couldn't execute.
Whoa, that's the second time around that Meiko literally survives by the skin of his teeth. However, that allows LNG to take full control, and I have been loving how proactive they're playing around their map. However, IG are pulling TPs.
Oh no, this is your 2-0 Corki. This was your saving grace. He's going to flash, but it's not going to be nearly enough. The prison will keep him in his tights, and he will go down.
A little bit too overextended right there, trying to pressure into TheShy. The TP coming down from Rookie. Gala, a little bit too far out. WeiWei's looking.
He's got Glacial Prison. Yeah, he's got the angle. Zhuo coming around the corner too. They're playing a little dicey. Meiko's still not level 6. Somehow he's still not level 6, y'all. And Meiko, one auto finally gets him. You're not getting away from me this time, says Photic.
Yeah, LNG are using that Sejuani really well. 100% kill participation right here for WeiWei. And I feel like he's doing the right thing. He's not going to be useful in any other way other than impacting that early game. You've got an Ignite over on the top lane on your Rumble. He's already one item ahead onto that Gwen. So you're doing the right thing. By sacrificing yourself, you're trying to put your laners ahead, hoping that that mid-game to late-game gap is going to be bridged by that Corki gate and as fast as possible onto that Trinity. It was by getting that Leandris and the Ignite onto that Rumble on the top side of the map. So far, Haichao, yes, they did shut him down, but he should be very, very close to Trinity Force as it is.
And that's going to be a pretty massive spike in its own right, as we've seen time and time again. But this is the tried and true as well, talking about Rookie a little bit. This is the tried and true Rise build now with the Rod of Ages start, the kind of healthiness that this pick is going to bring into the fold. Because you're, again, looking at the strategy deployed by IG, and a lot of the weight is on Jiejie's shoulders. But he's already working his way to 2 items. He's already working his way to being a big dog. And IG going to collapse on a WeiWei and maybe make that dog even bigger. Zhuo coming over on the other side, though, with Gala following through. They're stuck in this choke point. They're stuck in this river, and Meiko will just die again.
That's the reminder right there that this Brom is only there defensively, but he's the only one who can face check from the side of IG, and they have had Meiko's number for the entire game. LNG are playing so well around summoner spells that don't exist. Jiejie?
Oh god, he almost died there, but now maybe they have a bit of a rebuttal. The Darkened Daggers will connect there. The flash comes through. Needlework still hits. TheShy's got a Heat Seeker on those. Jiejie is playing against the wall here. Try to be a little bit aggressive on the 1v3, by the way. And it's working out for him. He does push them away and looking for more, actually, over the pit.
Yeah, Zika had to use his ultimate right there to push out that wave. WeiWei, that's
waiting
not
for
your
the
jungle.
backs.
It never was. You're 2 levels down. You've sacrificed yourself for your team, and now your team needs to get you the dub right here. However, TheShy taking that bot lane tower. He grabbed a bunch of those tower platings. That is a very, very, very rich Gwen. Riftmaker already in the bag, and Photic is trying to defend mid lane. Very low HP and mana.
Try to get the crash down away from the potential concussive blows there. But a couple more shots into the turret. Not going to be enough. They did a really good job of clearing the wave. It might have cost the health bars. Maybe that next wave still ends up crashing it. But True Shot Barrage will stop the back of Photic. And now TP has to be deployed into mid lane to kind of rejoin this fight by Haichao, who did just complete the Trinity Force.
Yeah, I feel like you really need the Corki to sit onto that mid lane. Of course, they wanted to have him on the side lane to try and get that Trinity Force as fast as possible, as you mentioned, now completed. However, they are going to lose the second dragon of the game, and this is going to be feat of strength for the neutral objectives going over to IG, and feat of strength in general, because this is going to solidify. They have the first tower, of course, from the TheShy down bot lane, so that is a little bit more speed for the side of IG, and having so many champions with so much agency like Gwen, Fury, Rise, playing around those team fights, actually feats of strength, that's giving a pretty good boost right here for IG.
What's your favorite new boots?
My favorite new boots?
Yeah. Like the
Symbiotic
upgraded
look kinda,
boots?
Symbiotic look kinda OP, not gonna lie.
Okay, I like it. Well, I'm gonna say something just based off of coolness factor, and mine are Swifties.
Okay.
Because they look so damn cool. The Swift March boots when they upgrade, they're just like fast cowboy boots. And you know, I'm from Texas, so I have to like.
You're not gonna see them though, because the only one with them is Zika on this
yeah.
rumble. And
But,
unfortunately,
you know,
no
in
feats of
general.
strength over there. Hold up.
Oh no.
Meiko.
Maybe.
Gas
Oh
flash.
god. Maybe going 0-4 here for Meiko. As he does go down to Zika. That is very unfortunate. And honestly, it's keeping LNG ahead in this game. They're still almost over 1,000 gold. So now they have to contest IG here, though. Jiejie, he's completely caught here. He's forced the flash to try to get away. TP's going to be utilized from Rookie, and now TheShy's going ham in the fight. Gets a big needlework. Equalizer was used. Jiejie gets one, but gets traded back down. Photic has been untouched, and Photic's moment is nigh. Photic trying to cook him up, but now they are split. Zhuo on the other side of the wall means that LNG don't feel comfortable to move forward. And Zika very low health. They'll try to defend this outer tower top lane.
That is a 1 for 2 right there, and Haichao has been pressuring that bot lane this whole time. They will lose that mid lane tier 1 from Rookie pressuring that one, but that's a 3-0-1 Kai'Sa in the hands of Photic. And remember how we said earlier we wanted to see Photic return to form? That is one of the champions he can do it on. His Kai'Sa was so good last year when he used to pop off, and right here he has been given all the tools and the gold to do this one more time. Now, Zhuo, WeiWei, Haichao, Avengers have assembled on the tops of the map. Meiko, again, no flash.
And not only is he doing it on Gala's Kai'Sa as well, but he's also doing it on the IG skin against Invictus Gaming. Even though they might not have Jackie Love, it's still against the organization that places that skin. And now you have LNG taking out this Rift Herald, providing them some latent gold on the map in just a bit. They could just charge that in the mid lane and give them a little bit of font of pressure.
Yeah, however, I'm going to say here that IG have been so good playing around the map with those skills for LNG. Even though we're talking about WeiWei pressuring, you know you're going to fall behind in your jungle. We set this up very early on. He's still 2 levels behind. However, he's been setting up a lot of these skills. Now it's on LNG to utilize the goal that's been given to them by WeiWei and Zhuo, finding those picks around the map to actually take IG down.
Speaking of, Rookie will flash away from that Glacial Prison. Just not able to get the combo off from LNG. They'll take a brunt of damage on the back end of that one. I need to see them use Photic like a damn weapon. Swing him like a sword. They have 2 items on this Kai'Sa early, and I want to see them move him around the map.
And let's see how close to Mana Moon that Corki is as well. Just in base for Haichao. LNG desperate.
Oh, no.
No, stop.
Oh, it hurts so bad, man. This team that literally was fighting for top spots in the LPL, fighting in the playoffs, and had such a legendary name. Scout, obviously I was talking about it earlier, Scout got double MVPs on a year on that LNG roster. And the new developmental style is just not working out for them, even though you think it's not developmental. It's just a lot of the pieces that haven't worked elsewhere in the LPL either.
Yeah, it's kind of what JDG is doing, but not as successful, if you will.
It's like the star tier down from JDG. It's like JDG is like a 3-star attempt, or no, a 2-star attempt, and then you have LNG is like 1-star.
We have JDG at home situation. Yeah, I see it. They're looking for Gala.
So it's BLG at home
slippery.
into JDG at home. I don't know who comes next after that. We're just going to go down the ladder. We're looking down bot lane, though. As rookie, he has Realm Warp, but I don't think he's going to be able to safely get out of this with WeiWei here. He has so much CC chain to back him up. Haichao collapse. That's all 5 members. What did this man do? No way! Oh, he gets stopped in the end, and Zika will claim the kill. I thought he was going to make the great escape. They're losing an inhib turret in mid lane potentially because of that play, though.
Every single time LNG commits bodies to a side play, IG will take something in return. That's a huge chunk on that mid lane tower, and they're going to take the whole thing because LNG was spotted doing the dragon, and this could be disastrous, actually, for LNG.
The lead has flipped.
That's 2 towers and an 3 towers. Mid lane tier 2, top lane tier 2, and an inhibitor tower going down for a rookie death. Now that is a good death.
All right, I like it. We're getting the actual execution of the terms. Let's go. We're learning, chat. We're learning. It's so crazy to me. We were literally like 2,000-3,000 gold up for LNG at some points, but getting a little bit more around that 2,000. Now we're just like almost 1,000 gold up for IG off the back of those couple plays.
I mean, yeah, it was a kill versus a triple tower plus inhibitor tower. That was a huge influx in gold going into IG's pockets. And not that they needed this, but their champions also scale so massively into that late game. You've got Mananu now completed, second item for Rise as well. Black Cleaver for that Nafir, which means that Ezreal is now inherently hurting more. And 2 items for TheShy. It's pretty much dead even all across the board right here for IG, and this is the time where they're gonna start to want to start. What are they gonna start? Want to start fighting? Oh my god, English is so hard, man.
It is hard.
Could you make the language a little simpler?
Nope. That's the fun of it, I guess.
The harder the language, the more fun to learn. Yay.
Is that? I don't think that's true. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Not really. Not really. Not really.
It would be funny if it was true. I want to see though. I'm still. What is the Rift Herald spawn gonna happen? And if so, is it just gonna be?
There it is.
Okay, we got it top side. Try to take this turret and maybe into the Atacon, or maybe do something up here. And try to go for the outer turret. They will get it off the charge and a couple auto attacks there. You have Jiejie and Meiko moving up through the river, but maybe the collapse comes through from LNG. They're gonna try to hover over this Rift Herald, see if a second charge comes through, but IG will be there to stop it in its tracks. And now it's the escape plan from LNG. How do you get out of this situation?
Yeah, I feel like for LNG, this was just start taking structure down. We have the Rift Herald. We cannot use it mid because IG are...
Oh, speaking of, TheShy gets caught in a little bit of a TheShy moment. A solo bolo for the now pillar player for LNG and Zika, as Zhuo goes for the engage onto Meiko. They get a nice little crash down, but Jiejie gets 1 kill and looking for more. They do end up cleaning up Gala, so that's 3 bodies down from IG. Jiejie forced to run away in LNG. They are starting to take the lead again.
All I'm gonna say here is that LNG have the chance to do the funniest thing that no other team could do.
What is
Jiejie under a lot of trouble. It's a 3 versus 1.
He untargetables out of that permafrost, but he's still gonna die. Oh my god, the healing. Okay. No. Somebody please get this champion out of my League of Legends games. I don't want to see it anymore.
Oh boy, we cannot evade this.
He's TPing to the dogs, by the way. He's TPing to the dogs. Because you can do that for some reason. And now they have a 3-man flank on LNG. The Atacon had been taken and all the roses by LNG, but TheShy is standing like a bodyguard, not letting LNG back into their house. They've got the keys, TheShy. Do you have enough to stop them? No. They just barge right in. Although Jiejie gets the flash out of WeiWei there. Untargetable out of that Void Seeker as well. Damage done, though. Get a kill back for LNG.
Very, very well played from LNG. They're literally throwing hands at IG, and IG do not have the responses. What was that? Zika just absolutely roasts TheShy on a 1 versus 1, making it instantly a 4 versus 5 in favor of LNG. And then they try to poke down Zhuo, but Zhuo finds the re-engage, which then brings Photic into the equation. Haichao and Photic both diving onto the backline, getting down Meiko, getting down Pays, turning this to a very advantageous position for LNG. And then not only did they take the Atakan, which gives them even more experience through that, but also their way out was very clutchly done as well. They actually stuck as a unit and they focused one target at a time. Where was this LNG 5 games ago?
Not here, at least. There we go. That's the stat I was waiting
still
for.
him, boys.
Still
He's
him.
the same dude.
Still him. Doesn't need to play. Doesn't need to play a lot of solo queue to have the TheShy moments. It is literally pivotal to TheShy because you have positive with the negative, but he also has cleaned up a lot of those situations coming into this split number 2, and maybe looking to take permanent presence right here with it. Gets Zhuo caught out, though. The WeiWei and Haichao, the rest of the company coming down the other side. Oh, God, they put themselves in a choke point. Okay, now Zika finds the engage onto Meiko. Jiejie still untouched over here. He's the big damage dicker as long as they go in. WeiWei going down now as well. Gala gets one. Now equalizer just as a door, but it's not going to be enough to stop them from moving forward. It's going to be a triple kill for Gala on the Ezreal. I mean, I think they can just do the Baron here.
Wait, just like that, IG just turns the page and starts a new freaking chapter? Like, why? Like, if LNG do not pull the trigger, IG gets to run them down. This is going to be easy Baron for them, and unfortunately LNG in the meantime cannot get anything. They only have 2 members still up and alive, and Zika had to run for his life as well. Let's watch this one more time. I feel like Zhuo right here, he just extends way too much, uses his ultimate onto TheShy, has to use the crash stun to get over the wall, and then other than this, I think you just gotta restructure yourself because your 280 carries cannot play in such a short choke point. Photic on the Kai'Sa, extremely short range. You cannot walk into Naafiri, you cannot walk into Braum, and unfortunately they just could not harvest the power of the Kai'Sa in this choke point, and they continued fighting in it, and IG said bet. They just run it down.
Yeah, it's such a tough fight because you feel like there's a little bit of exit strategy there from LNG, but they can't do it now. We're looking at a Dragon that's already being taken by IG, but LNG are down here. Haichao has TP, can join the team if they need to. IG may be looking for a play, though, over onto the straggling members of LNG. All 5 members up here, though, as Haichao has rejoined the team. A tier 2 maybe in the eyes, but look at Zika. He wants to use these kinds of in-between windows with the equalizer. That's coming up in just 2 seconds.
Zika might be pinched.
Rookie.
Zika might be
Get him.
pinched.
Oh, but is he pinched or is he pinching? I think he's getting pinched, and reality's going to hurt there as Jiejie gets another one.
Yeah, got spotted an award right there, and IG instantly collapsed onto him. Rookie from mid, and the rest of the members from that bot side. Rookie back to base, but he does have that Rise ult to get a little bit closer. There is still Baron up on those IG members, and now LNG on the back foot.
Okay, they get the turret. That's going to signal potentially the end. Baron up still for 1 minute and 15 seconds for them, so they have so much time to work with. They also have Rookie coming back with the Zanyas, so can be just a menace with that one. But this is a holistic effort from IG where they were struggling in a lot of this game to finish this one out, but now they're on the precipice of going undefeated in Group D. And it wasn't even close, Trouble. It was not even close. They dominated every single matchup they had. And now maybe being pushed to the brink here with a nice Magnet Storm. Photic finds the backline now as well. Glacial Prison is not going to go through, but the Glacial Fissure does work, though. TheShy is being untouched, but now being touched a little bit. His needlework is healing so much, and Jiejie is getting his resets. He gets that one, and it's TheShy going ham in the last fight on this Gwen. That signals IG's undefeated run in Group D, much to the chagrin of LNG. They will try to finish this one off with the Baron minions.
You can solo kill him twice, but you cannot keep him down. TheShy will come up clutch with the plays, and Zhuo face right here to kill both carries to potentially salvage the game, but it's not gonna be enough.
They're going to play with their food a little bit, but IG will nonetheless become the super team that they promised, and they will be a force to be reckoned with in that group ascend stage.
Hey, props to LNG. I think WeiWei tried so damn hard. He sacrificed his farm. He sacrificed everything to try and get members ahead, and all it took for IG was one team fight. LNG kept pressuring them all the way, every single skirmish, every single fight, finding openings on the side lanes, and now IG just kept chipping the base. They kept chipping towers, they kept chipping inhibitors, they were sacrificing Rookie, they were sacrificing TheShy, all for one team fight.
Did you hear that screaming?
I did.
That was one of the most insane screams
They're
I've
very
ever heard in my
famous.
time. Look at TheShy. He's like sitting there like he's just laughing, and that was a keeping of the promise. I don't even know how to say it, because it's not the promised land just yet. It's not what this team promised together, because this team is so motivated to be the super team to represent the LPL, to bring pride back to the LPL. And to see them bounce back after that last split, to have that kind of faltering in the playoffs, but now to continue some of that domination in the regular season, at least this placement stage here, and to show so many different styles, but also the way that they know how to execute in these kind of strategies where Jiejie can either be a facilitator or a hard carry, and him and Rookie can cohese very easily. This team gets me excited, Trouble. It's very nice to see a promise being kept, at least to the moment.
I mean, they were constantly threatened, right, by LNG. LNG did everything. They went above and beyond to threaten every single lane from Invictus Gaming. And Invictus Gaming figured out how to play around this. They were playing around the map more than they were playing around the kills. And when they had the actual items, that's when they turned it back onto LNG. And that shows with the experience that these players have behind their backs. Sure, TheShy got solo killed twice. And what? LNG got nothing out of this over on the top side of the map. It felt like IG were using Rookie, and I think like Rookie's such a big weapon for any team that has him, because he knows exactly how to play side lane. He knows how to create pressure, and at the end of the day, they even used Rookie's deaths to their own advantage. They even took inhibitor mid lane, inhibitor tower, sorry. So I feel like IG are a very difficult team, where it's like, if we can't beat them in the laning phase, if we can't beat them and consistently gain more kills on them and having more items, like, when can we freaking beat them? I mean, like, you're gonna have to match them in both laning phase and macro if you want to beat them.
And that's going to be a task left to the best teams through all the other groups. Again, if you think about the setup that we have here, it is going to be IG and JDG representing Group D in that Ascend group. We'll see if LGD can make it through the gauntlet to make it and join their Group D brothers, or if they end up joining that Nirvana group. But LNG will see the dark hole of Nirvana and try to fight their way out of it and not be those two last places in the group.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad for LNG. I believed in them. I had them third in my group standings overall, but as you can see, they were not able to pick up a single victory, and that looks really bad, because if you look at all the others, like OMG have a chance to potentially pick up a victory, but all the other groups, you had at least like EDG picking up a win, RNG picking up a win so far, and not having figured out how you want to play the game so far after 6 games, it really stings. And I'm gonna quote Reckless on this one. It's kind of like you forget what it feels like to win, or how to win, what worked to begin with, because nothing has worked to begin with. That's a whole new roster that they brought together. Yeah,
it's been over 2 months since they found a win, and if you do the math, it might just be 2025. But try to find something to hold on to for LNG is definitely difficult. That's why we don't want to be too down in the dumps. I think LNG have a long road ahead of them. You still have a lot of games to play through that next group stage, but IG, they're delivering. They're showing this Nefiri as well that has just run absolutely rampant in the LPL. We're seeing it on red side like every single time. I'm surprised at this point it's not just the blue side, first pick. But as we take a look back through some of these highlights, you get to see the high highs that Jiejie's impact had on the map.
I mean, there's very clearly a pattern right now for the LPL, and that is AP top laners. You've seen the Vladimirs, the Cannons, Gwen B1 is the new trend that's going around, because there's not necessarily a champion that can go toe-to-toe to Gwen. However, as we can see, Rumble was able to solo kill Gwen very easily. We've seen a bunch of Jacks doing very well into the Gwen, but it's still like one of the most prominent top laners. And it also opens up a little bit the AP pool in terms of like consistent damage dealers, especially when we get it like over in the mid lane. It's usually like burst mages like Syndra and stuff, but you don't really get like consistent AP damage dealers such as Azir over in the top lane.
So who are you thinking for the good old MVP for this one? Who's the guy? Is it Jiejie? Is it TheShy? Is it Meiko for giving them false confidence and dying like 5 times into carrying the game?
TheShy managed to get solo killed again. So once you
takes
get
him out
solo
of the
killed, I'm sorry, I've
conversation.
lost
It's
the
out.
trust. Yeah, I've lost the trust. I'm sorry.
But
once
isn't
you get
that
solo killed.
quintessentially TheShy? Like, isn't?
True. I mean, it's like you can say the same with the Baus over in Europe. Like, if he doesn't die 10 times, has he really played peak League of Legends? So I'll give it to you. However, I think a very unsung hero in this whole thing was the AD carry right there, was Gala on this Ezreal. I think he played really, really well, and I feel like it's going to be between him and potentially Jiejie, because Jiejie played a very smart game early on. Like the second he sees a Juani, he takes something away off of WeiWei's jungle, so it could potentially also be Jiejie.
Yeah, I think Jiejie being up like 40 to 50 CS in the jungle for like a majority of that game is mind-boggling. Not when you look at the champions, but just how the way the meta and stuff is panned out. Like, when Naafiri can get to farming and farm fast, and like you said, pick up jungle camps on the backside of plays that WeiWei was trying to make, you just get so far ahead. It's so difficult to deal with. And he had some incredible untargetable moments. First of all, that champion should not be able to go untargetable, but being able to use it was very nice. And I think Jiejie was able to buy a lot of time for his team. So we'll see what the MVP ends up being, but I think there's a couple names that you could definitely add to the docket.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, IG is IG. You mentioned it. Like, TheShy dies, who cares? He still comes back.
People love him enough, they
shreds
just give him the
team fight.
MVP.
I mean, hey, that girl that was in the crowd clearly loved him so much that she would like to see him MVP every
She
single
might have
time.
casting in the future. I'm just saying. You can get that loud with like a constant yell. You need to talk to the casting agencies.
We just need to like remind people that the IG from 2018 was probably one of the most, if not the most popular LPL team in LPL's history, okay? Let's see. Of course it is.
The big bad dog gets the MVP. It will be the number 1 MVP there, as it was just constant pressure from Jiejie. Honestly, the guy has been on a tear this entire split. Like I said earlier, most consistent part, at least for me, for IG, and you kind of need that in the LPL. Glad to see him spread his wings after being battened down. Or his paws battened down over the last couple of years. He is unleashed on IG. But it was a pleasure to get to cover some of these games. The group panned out exactly how we kind of expected them to. Do you have any thoughts on how the group? I know you were saying you're like kind of trying to catch up. Like, do you have feelings about IG and about maybe this JDG squad or even LGD?
Okay, I don't have feelings yet for IG because they did pretty well at the start of the previous split, and when playoffs came through, it wasn't the best. And until I see them play those really strong teams over in the other groups, that's where you get kind of like a good idea of how they've gotten their stuff together, right? And then also Fearless comes through, and a lot of the champions are going to be taken away. However, I've just so much to be desired still from LNG. Like, we know their players, and we've seen what they do, and that particularly was I think this is the most IG have been pressured in the early to mid game, and if LNG can give them that fire, they can do this versus all the other teams that don't have quite as good macro as IG and take wins from them. So I feel like LNG, go back to the drawing board, figure out how you actually win games, because that was a good showing versus IG. They just couldn't close it out.
Well, Group D has been decided. First place will be Invictus Gaming. Second place will be JDG. We'll have LGD fight it out in that post game, or at least a post placement stage with that little tournament, and then LNG will be into the Nirvana group. that is going to be it. But before we go, I got to give a huge and very special thank you to our coffee supporter, Aaron Soup. Your helped and pledged contribution brings us so much joy because we're able to provide all this wonderful work and all this presence of the LPL with your help, and help provide a lot of the support in the back end, all the things that we're trying to do, the content, all the production stuff, the graphics packages. It's all thanks to a lot of the support from you guys. So if you want any content early, if you want things like that, please go subscribe to our coffee. Please go help us out. It means so much to us. But until then, tomorrow is the finality of Group B. Can we see some fun? Can we see some tiebreakers?